Hi, and welcome back to the show. Well, shopping for Oriental rugs can be a frustrating experience. Prices vary widely. Which ones do you choose? Who do you buy them from? How do you know it's a good value? And on and on and on. Well, here to answer those and other questions is the author of My Name Isn't Martha, But I Can Decorate My Home, Sharon Hanby Robie. Hello, Sharon.
Hello,
welcome
Cindy.
to the show.
Thank you.
Where do we start?
Well, first of all, let's define what an Oriental carpet is, because there's some confusion out there.
Okay.
There's a difference between hand-tied, hand-knotted, and hand-done. And how you can tell the difference, and what the difference is that hand-tied and hand-knotted are actually what we expect them to be, little people tying little tiny knots through warp and weft threads.
That's good quality.
That's good quality.
Okay.
Hand-done is they're using a screening and a gun and shooting the fiber through. So kind of like a hook rug with a machine, with a little gun.
Machine made.
And you will find then a secondary backing.
Okay.
That's the difference between hand done and hand knotted.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a true Oriental carpet, then you want a hand knotted or hand tied carpet.
Okay.
And the carpets today come from all different countries. It used to be that you knew specific patterns and styles were typical Persian or typical Chinese or typical Indian. Well, today all of the patterns are kind of mixed and everybody copies everybody's style and pattern. So it's very difficult to know where a carpet came from by just looking at it.
Is it important to know?
It is important in terms of so that you know what you're getting. I believe that consumers can purchase whatever they want as long as they understand what they're purchasing.
Okay.
And so you want to purchase from a reputable dealer who will first and foremost take the time with you, let you borrow the carpet, take it home and try it. Because if they don't, then you don't want to bother, because this is a major investment. And these carpets will outlast all of us. They'll last 100, 200 years. So you don't want something that's just wrong.
So find somebody with a good reputation.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that can then help talk you.
When we look at a rug like this, we go, oh yeah, the color's great, it goes with my decor, but then where do you go from there?
Well, let's talk about color a little bit. It used to be that color was very much dedicated to traditional colors, the reds, the blues, the greens, the golden colors. But the Western influence on Oriental carpets has really changed coloring. This is typical of that. We've demanded more current and trendy colors, and so you're seeing even there things have changed. But this carpet is actually a Pakistan carpet, and it's one of my favorites. I'm going to turn this over and give you a little...
What are you looking for on the back here?
What you're looking for, first of all, is the number of knots per square inch, and they're defined by two numbers, like a fraction, 16 by 18. The 16 being your horizontal number, and the 18 being your vertical number. If you multiply that, you get 288 knots per square inch. So it's a very tight weave.
Okay, and that's good?
That's very good. People often ask, what's the leather strip for? That is simply to keep the carpet flat, because it's a very tightly woven carpet and it would tend to curl.
Oh, I've seen
the leather
that,
strip will keep it in place.
Okay.
This is also a Pakistan rug, and you can see the difference between the two in terms of knot. This is a 10-20. 10 knots horizontally, 20 vertically. A lot less knots, and you can see that in the texture.
Can you see it on the back?
Absolutely. Look at the size of the knot difference.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
right.
I'm getting smarter as we go along here.
Exactly. Also, let's talk, as we're talking about some of these things, we'll talk about wools. Wool, the best part of wool, and that's where we talk about quality of carpet, comes from the shoulder of the lamb, of the sheep. And it can take actually a whole herd of sheep for one carpet. Isn't that amazing?
Really? Wow.
So sometimes you'll find an Oriental carpet that may look gorgeous, but it might be the back wool, and that's not as good as the shoulder wool, so to speak.
Now, will the retailer know that?
Depends on the retailer. That's the problem. Okay, this is a Chinese carpet. This is actually a traditional Chinese carpet where they're weaving it, and the Chinese use a different line count. It's a 90, which means 90 knots per lineal foot, as opposed to square inch. So you can't compare the Pakistan rugs, which are knots per square inch, versus lineal foot knots. They're completely different. Once the Chinese carpet is woven, then they go back and hand carve the pattern in it. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, it's beautiful. Now, let's start talking prices here. How much would you expect to pay for a really good quality Chinese carpet like this one?
This particular carpet is probably about $300, which is not bad.
And it's a 2x3.
It's a 2x3, correct. It's going to depend, of course, on as we talked about, the wool and the pattern intricacies. All of those things will play into price for you.
Okay.
Also notice that all carpets, since they're woven on a loom, have a nap in one direction or another. So they'll have a light side and a dark side.
Right.
So depending...
I see that when I vacuum.
Yes, but you want to put the carpet in the room the way it looks best in color-wise. Because you may want the darker side versus the light side.
Okay, one practical question I have right here. I'm in the market for an Oriental rug.
Okay.
Can you tell? I'm just so interested in
yes.
this. Do you put carpet protector on them when you bring them home?
No, they don't really need it. The natural lanolin in the wool actually self-protects it. It really does, so it doesn't need it.
And what if they're not made out of wool?
Well, then that's not really an Oriental carpet then.
Okay.
Oriental carpets are always made out of wool.
It's a look-alike.
It's a look-alike.
Okay.
The only other fiber you'll sometimes find is mesmerized cotton or silk. And the silk you can see just sparingly used. It'll glisten and shine and be really pretty.
Now, do they make them sometimes in nylon? I mean, the really inexpensive ones
That's
hanging by the side of the freeway?
That's a machine-made carpet, that's right. That's not an Oriental.
All right. All right. Oh, this one's nice.
This is Bacara. This is typical elephant pattern footprint.
Oh, really? Is that what that
That's
is?
what the idea that is. And
so that's Indian.
That's Indian, and actually it's an Indian pattern. These are both, the next two are both Persian styles, but one is made in India and one is made in China. And the Indians actually use less knots per square inch. It's not as dense, and so it's not as expensive as, say, the Chinese Persian style. So,
oh, this is beautiful.
Isn't this gorgeous?
Love this.
So all of those things will play into the price of the carpet. You can see the difference here in the knots between the two. They're both a Persian style, they're both traditional styles, but different countries of origin.
Okay. Anything to know about the fringe on the end?
The fringe is typical of a true Oriental will have the fringe, a cotton fringe. That's part of the original fiber that we were woven, the warp and the weft, and that's what you end up with, the warp and the weft tying. If it doesn't have this and it's just sewn on, then again it's not a handmade carpet. You can see that this knotting is actually part of what the fiber was woven through.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
Sharon Hanby Robie, you are an expert in Oriental rugs, and now maybe I know a little bit more too, and I hope we all do. Thank you so much for being on our show. It was really nice to have you. And we will be back. Hi, and welcome back to the show. Well, shopping for Oriental rugs can be a frustrating experience. Prices vary widely. Which ones do you choose? Who do you buy them from? How do you know it's a good value? And on and on and on. Well, here to answer those and other questions is the author of My Name Isn't Martha, But I Can Decorate My Home, Sharon Hanby Robie. Hello, Sharon.
Hello,
welcome
Cindy.
to the show.
Thank you.
Where do we start?
Well, first of all, let's define what an Oriental carpet is, because there's some confusion out there.
Okay.
There's a difference between hand-tied, hand-knotted, and hand-done. And how you can tell the difference and what the difference is